So, preferably, like I would like to see Friday make the C4 continuation away from Wednesday low of the week, away from this framework order pair ranges. But there's a lot of things that are not, or there's like two things that are not supporting that. One, there's more than that actually. Price on the weekly is still stuck within a consolidation. As you can see here. So realistically, there's really no framework on the weekly, but also this weekly candle doesn't support expansion bullishly for continuation higher on Friday. And then, so it kind of just looks more clean for Friday to retrace back into the weekly range to reach EQ. On the 4 hour, you can see that more clearly. We have no SMT, so the framework on the 4 hour would be order pair ranges, but there's no 4 hour profile away from any of these key levels. So we're just stuck in consolidation prior to the driver. So price looks like it's going to reach for pretty low, but I obviously can't trade that, so I'm just going to wait for the driver to confirm the narrative and then see if price offers an entry during 10 AM, but I don't think I'm going to trade at all. The daily bias isn't clean, so even if we do, let's say, take pre-day low, manipulate as, you know, relevant low here, and create order pair ranges and say 6 AM manipulates it during 6 AM, right during the driver. I don't think I'm going to trade 10 AM continuation because I'm trading a reversal day. It's going to be lower probability. The weekly doesn't support, or the weekly bias itself doesn't really support that expansion bullishly. I think it's just unclean at that point. I don't like how, I don't know. It's just not clean. And I've realized, like, I've realized a lot within my narrative, within my, when I do my bias and all that. I realized that I have been demanding the cleanest price action. I've been just pattern trading my model. And you know, I just want my model to do it for me, really. I don't want to do the work. But what I realized is I think I need to, no matter what, demand a clear sweep point away from clear framework. Like the daily bias has to be super clean. And then in whatever we trade. And today is not that day at all. It's not clean. You know, C2 on Wednesday, even though the weekly candle, the bias doesn't really support it. We still have that C2 away from a key level paired with SMT on Wednesday. So we can definitely anticipate Thursday continuation. So Thursday wasn't bad. But today's bias is horrible, so it's not clean. And then what else? Let's see. So yeah, so what I think I'll do is if the daily framework isn't the cleanest, then I'll try trading gold or oil. Maybe, we'll see. I might try implementing that into my model. And then what else? I've been thinking like, okay, on all time frames, if I want it to be, if I want price action to be cleanest, at least on the daily, do I trade reversal days? Like either large wick or small wick, it doesn't matter. Or do I just wait for the continuation away from framework? That's probably ideal. That's probably what I'll start doing for the daily buys, is only trading continuation. That's probably what I'll do. And then I've also mastered the way of how I think of everything from the daily 4 hour, 1 hour, 30 minute with SMT theory. And how, like on the daily, like I'll think of framework swing point, and then SMT last, right? And then on the 4 hours, it's really the same thing. Framework swing point, and then SMT. And in this scenario, the framework would be like, say on the 4 hour, it would be order pair ranges. There's no swing point, so I can't really define the high or low day. So there's no trade. But if there were, say, was a swing point away from this pretty high relevant swing, say during, say, London, then I would have framework order pair ranges, London manipulation, 6 AM continuation, or to create that forex country away from the high day, away from the range high, to wait for range low, the target level, and then I'll look for S&P there to see if ES is or NQ to determine which asset is the leading asset, etc. And then realistically, you can drop it down to the 1 or 30 minutes. It's really simple. It's just thinking about the GxT the sequences, right? The continuation, reversal, or aligned sequence. So. Alright, so 9:30 has opened. It needs to go lower. Unless it does go higher within the same candle when we take this eye out. That'd be a weird daily candle formation though. I think that what would be clean for me today is if I were to trade today as a reversal candle, I think the only thing that I would really look for is manipulation above pretty highs, and then target pretty low or EQ the current weekly range. But if we were to take pretty low and manipulate it, I don't think I would look for continuation higher. The 4 hour, anyways. Volume is taken pretty low, pretty much, during the river. So we might create SMT with it. So again, I really don't know if I like bullishness, but this is definitely confirming the bullish framework. It would technically be a continuation on the daily for ES or NQ. I can't breathe. We're gonna take credit second stage PSP actually. Most likely. We still had on NQ, S&D. Technically it was about this side. It's clear and obvious what we were reaching for. Pretty low. Clearly YM was weaker. Retracement prior to 930. Literally right below this gap. It's obvious drive reversal away from this gap. Gotta confirm that with the 5 minute, but the problem with this is we're price is so low in the range. That's like there's no R there. There's no range to capitalism. We might see there's many things we can do. Or maybe we will manipulate this low, it's pretty low, create water ranges on the far on all assets, or YM will fail to manipulate this relevant swing or away from this SMT. Same with NQ and ES. And we'll see NQ and ES show strength switch and catch up to YM to reach pretty low. So clearly, with all this time, YM is still failing to manipulate the pretty low at a relevant swing, failing to expand away from that SMT. Therefore, it's most likely going to be failure SMT, and we can expect NQ and ES to catch up to reach for pretty low. The problem with this is we have no proper framework or profile to confirm the high of day on the 4 hour. There's no 2-stage SMT. Maybe we'll create it going into 10 a.m. But there's just no string switching. I just don't like how there's no framework on the 4 hour. So the daily bias, even though it is clean for today to reach pretty low, not only because of the SMT, but because of the weekly wick size, because of the weekly bias, right? Doesn't really make sense to continue the expansion higher. And then plus with how the 4 hour profile is looking with SMT3. Looks great too. Go lower to reach pretty low. But the problem with this is we're trading away from failure swings. There's no proper manipulation or 4 hour swing point away from a key 4 hour level to frame the high day out away from we're off of. So I can't really trust London manipulation. So that's what I believe. I'm gonna make a video for my before and after real quick for my end of day or end of week revise. Yeah, I'm just gonna end the week here. So